goal getters, welcome to the channel. Recently we've made videos on farming in Africa, and on the comment section some of you guys in the diaspora came under the videos and were saying that you would really love to embark on these projects but you don't know how to manage them in a distance, or you don't know if those projects are suitable for you. And just so you know, there's this video already that we made some time ago giving you an idea of how you could run your business remotely, but that video was more of general. So today I came up with this idea of selecting the businesses that are suitable for you living abroad, and also I'll be giving the reasons why the African diaspora should actually invest in these businesses. But before we do that, let me quickly draw your attention to something. Do you know that according to the World Bank report, the remittances from African diaspora is about $100 billion? That is the money African diaspora sends back home. Most of the remittances go to things like food, health, education, but never production. And this $100 billion we are talking about was attained just 13 years later, for in 2010, the diaspora remittance was about $37 billion. This alone shows that the diaspora remittance and their influence is actually growing at a geometric rate. Do you know that in countries like Nigeria, the second source of foreign currency after oil is actually remittances from the diaspora? And like I said, none of this goes to production or the industrialization of Africa, which in my opinion calls for concern. That's why I made a video on this channel giving you 5 machines, for example, that you could send to your loved ones in Africa and they will never disturb you for any money again, because I believe it's better to teach someone how to fish than to keep giving them fish. So if at this stage you aren't convinced yet why you should come and invest in these sectors in Africa, let me quickly tell you why. I will start with the first reason why we want you to come and invest in Africa. This is because there are a lot of business opportunities in Africa that are popping up every day, and generally most Africans really can't embark on some of these projects because they are financially heavy. But this is something that you, the African diaspora, have this advantage that when you convert your dollar into franc CFA, naira, cedi, kwacha, or any other African currency, it easily amounts to something bulky. Therefore, you are the right people to invest in certain businesses that the average African couldn't. And if I am appealing to you right now to come and invest in these sectors in Africa, it is because the African diaspora alone is made up of 350 million people, which is more than the US population as a whole. And if it were to be considered a country, it will actually come third after India and China. So given the fact that we, the Africans, have you out there who have the financial power, it is in our own interest for you guys to invest back home. That said, let's go right into the video. And I would please love you to take time and fathom on this video. That's why I came up with 10 business ideas that are suitable for you in the diaspora to invest in Africa. And all of these are only in the agricultural sector. Without wasting much of your time, let's get right into the video. The first reason why these businesses are going to be suitable for you is for the obvious reasons that they could be done remotely. That is, your physical presence is not necessary. All you need to do is get a manager with whom you are going to be signing a well-defined contract stating all the conditions of work that you are going to mutually agree on. There's a video I made recently giving you tips on how to run your business in Africa. You might watch it as well and get more details from there. These businesses I am talking about have very little follow-up to do, so you could run them perfectly from abroad. Another reason is that most of these products are easy to export. They are products that are on high demand on the international market, so you would face no difficulty exporting them. Another reason is that they are easy to finance. Unlike the African-based people who see these opportunities and don't have the finances to embark on them, you guys abroad have the financial means. Now, one of the most important reasons is that these businesses actually have high return on investment. This is because you being an African native, you have the facility to actually have cheaper labor more than anyone else. This is because you could get access to your uncles and aunties in the villages to actually recruit a lot of workers from you right from your village, and the labor would obviously be cheaper. Also, the fact that you are abroad, you can easily get deals and good negotiations is going to make the exportation of your goods easier because you would easily get distributors right there. Now, onto the agricultural products that you can cultivate in Africa and make a lot more money for yourself, we have as first thing on our list mangoes. Yes, cultivation of mangoes could be so lucrative if you go about it the right way, and I am going to tell you how. Right now, there are a lot of people making good money out there just because they are good at negotiations. And when we talk of negotiations in this context, we are talking of you negotiating with companies, that's big supermarkets or fruit vendors in your locality, and export your products to them. Let's take the case study of this British man in Ghana who actually deals in the export of mangoes, pineapples, and many other fruits. And he makes about $100,000 a year just from adding value to Ghanaian mangoes and exporting them. And hey, these are fruits he didn't produce himself. He just added a little bit of value by chopping them up and packaging them and exporting to his clients abroad. And the funny thing is, he is actually recruiting the Ghanaians for the work. They are the ones doing basically everything for him, and he is the one cashing out. So when I see such things, I really am impressed, but at the same time, I am filled with a lot of rhetoric questions. And I think you should too. It's high time we start fathoming on how to go about maximizing our African products. This is someone cashing out big just by adding a little bit of value to products existing in Africa already. He didn't create anything new or didn't bring anything new to the table. He is just smart enough to get some negotiations done abroad and export products and make big money. So what are you, the African diasporans, waiting for? And you even have the advantage of producing it yourself, because you can actually make high return on investment than a foreigner, because you being an African, you have your African roots in a particular village in Africa, and in those villages there are people looking for jobs without finding them, and you've got uncles and aunties and even at times your parents living in those villages, and they have the facility of recruiting a lot of workers for you. So if you set up any plantation in Africa, there are chances you could easily get workers and cheaper labor in Africa. So we've got a lot of advantages that we aren't exploiting at all. And also, you, an African living abroad, you've got the advantage that you also master the system there and you are accustomed to the system there. You could easily have access to the right places for negotiations and get distributors for your goods. The next product on our list is avocado production. Yes, the advantages of avocado production are so enormous that I can't start listing them in this video for fear of not making the video too long. What I am going to do is that I am going to be linking a detailed video that we made on avocado somewhere here, and the link is going to be in the description box. So please, after watching this video, go and watch that video and know exactly the reasons why you should absolutely embark on avocado production in Africa. The next product is coconut. Yes, do you know that coconut is actually exported also? Just like this man I was talking about earlier on, he also embarked on coconut production. He also incorporated the chopping up of coconut and exporting it abroad. And one thing with the coconut tree is that its fruit has a lot of uses. Aside from being consumed and dried, at times used for bakery stuff, some food like coconut rice, and you name it, coconut oil is also very treasured because it's got a lot of benefits. Coconut oil is another value-added product that you could come up with right from your own cultivation. The next on our list is pineapple production. Yes, pineapple is a fruit loved by many, and it is something that is highly consumed in Africa as well. So just from selling it right in Africa, you are going to be making a lot of money. And just like the other fruits, you could as well export it. And the next on our list is oil palm tree. This is something that is very lucrative in Africa right now because not only oil palm is the main oil consumed in Africa, it is highly exported right now because the African diaspora is consuming a lot of palm oil right now for their African dishes abroad. And you know it is very, very expensive abroad. So if you can produce this oil, you are going to be making money from the African market and the foreign market because the African diaspora is really craving for palm oil. And the good thing with this palm is that you are going to be sacrificing just 3 years, and after that you are going to be making money for a minimum of 30 years. That's basically the years in which the production is going to be at its peak before maybe starting to think of renewing your farm or recycling it. I am talking to you here from first-hand experience because my own mom is involved in oil palm plantation, and I can assure you that she is cashing out big. She basically started with 3 hectares and is expanding right now to reach 10 hectares. And I can assure you that this business is so lucrative. Now, the next product on our list is coffee. There's no need for me laying emphasis on coffee anymore, because if you watched the last video on here, you would have seen how elaborate that video was on coffee. So I am going to be linking the video here for you to go and watch and get details on it and the other many products I talked about in that video. That said, let's go to our next point, which is cocoa, and it is as well in that video where I elaborated and gave details on the production. It might interest you to know that cocoa recently left from $3 to almost $4 right now per kilogram. The next on our list is rubber plantation. Yes, this was also talked about in this video I am talking about. So please, I am urging you to go and watch this video immediately after this one and get details on these 4 products I am talking about: the oil palm, cocoa, coffee, and rubber production. I gave details in this video I am talking about, so please do well to rush and watch it there, because I wouldn't want this video to be too long. Thanks for understanding. So the next product is bitter cola. Yeah, you got the name bitter and cola. That's an African cola that is actually bitter. I guess that's why the name bitter cola. But the thing is, it is very famous and treasured in Africa. This is because it has a lot of medicinal values and a lot of people treasure it and will spend any amount to get it. And it might interest you to know that a bag of bitter cola in Africa right now averagely costs $1,000. So this is a product that you won't want to joke with, alright? And it will be increasing, because we've noticed that the more people are aware of the virtues or the medicinal values of bitter cola, the more people are consuming it. And just to name a few, bitter cola is good at easing gastric, reducing alcoholic content in the system, treats sexual impotence, stomach ache, glaucoma, that's the eye problem, and many other things. It's actually a lifesaver plant. I don't know if it is because of its bitter nature, one never knows, because there's something I've noticed: everything that is good for the body is actually not good in the mouth. I don't really know why, but I want to believe that bitter cola is so good for the body, because it is bitter just as well as aloe vera is, right? So there's no way you could go wrong with bitter cola in Africa. And the good thing is, there are a couple of people nursing the bitter cola plants. I even have a subscriber who reached out to me recently letting me know that he has a lot of bitter cola nursed plants. So that's why I said those who are interested in doing business and networking with other business people should actually subscribe to our Financial Freedom membership. For there, you are going to access our WhatsApp group where people are networking and making good deals for themselves. And on that note, I would love to thank our lovely members that we have already. You guys are highly appreciated and we don't take you for granted at all. So you watching this video, if you love what we are doing on the channel, you might as well considering supporting us through our Patreon and getting access to our membership, where you are going to be supporting the channel in your own way and getting some perks in return. And if you are watching this video and you've gained value, I think this is the right time for you to like this video if you forgot to, and also do well to share it with your loved ones so that a lot of people get sensitized on some of these topics. If you've gotten a relative abroad, this is the right video for you to share with them, okay? And contribute in raising awareness. That said, let's go to our next point, which is not really the product itself, but something that will help you produce these products. We are talking here of machines, agricultural machines. If you've got the money, I would advise you invest in machinery. Buy machines like tractors, bulldozers, caterpillars, tillers, harvesters, in fact all those things used in the production of any item you would love produce. If you buy them, you could use them for your own plantations and also rent them out as well, because a lot of people in Africa want to embark on these projects, but they really can't succeed because these are projects done in large scale, and to get human labor to do all of these things is not actually easy. So that's the limitation most Africans face, and at times are forced to import food from other parts of the world, not because they don't know that they could produce these things, but because they are limited in resources. And the machinery I am talking here about is one of the main limitations the Africans are facing right now. So if you're an African diasporan and you have some sort of humanitarian mind, this is the right investment for you to do in Africa, because this is going to be helping not only you but others as well. With that said, thanks for watching this video, and I will see you on my next one.